Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. It is thunderstorming outside, so you may hear thunder at some point, but I feel like that's all it's been this spring is lots and lots of storms. In today's video, I am photographing books that I got from the estate sale. I don't know how many people have been following or how long it's been, but I went to an estate sale last February, so it's been over a year. And I told them that I would buy every book at the estate sale for $80. Initially I said 50, they said 100, we settled on 80. I might have gotten the short end of the stick, been bamboozled, whatever you want to call it, but I thought I was buying every book out of the bookcases. And there are roughly 4 bookcases, so there were a lot of books, but that was all I thought. The estate sale company had other plans for me. They thought I was going to buy every book in the entire house, which meant I had to go through and room by room and make sure there were no books in every room. Spoiler, there were books in every room, including the garage. We took my son at the time, who was 14, myself and my husband went back to the estate sale and took all of the books. The deal was we could pick up all the books for $80 after the sale was over, so we went to the last hour of the sale and started gathering the books because she still wanted a chance to sell the books full price. Again, I didn't have an issue with that. The books weren't really moving. I totally and 100% blame Shed Flips. If you've ever watched them on YouTube, they do a lot of personalized cookbooks, like vintage cookbooks that were like for organizations and stuff, and I happened to see an entire shelf of this. Little did I know that the female of the house took it upon herself to collect cookbooks. We got 16 boxes of books out of all of the rooms of the house. Again, this is the last day of the sale. This is after everything was basically done. We found huge coffee table books in the garage. Don't know how they got there. Coloring books in the basement. Cookbooks in the kitchen, but random places in the kitchen, not just on the hutch, but in like under the sink, stuff like that. So we were finding books everywhere. It became a game. Other people at the estate sale were helping us find the books. So it was like an adult Easter egg hunt. They'd be like, hey, there's books over here. And oh my gosh, there's more books over here. And hey, there's books here. So we bought all of the books at the estate sale. It was really, it was way more than I thought. We only have a minivan. We don't have a truck or a trailer or anything. My father-in-law does have a trailer that we do borrow sometimes if we do like big item sales, like when we bought our lawnmower at an estate sale. But we didn't have him. It was February. It was gross outside. I had my husband and my son and myself and tubs. They're like, bring tubs, bring boxes, bring bags. We did not bring enough tubs, boxes, or bags for all of these books, but we made it work. What would happen is I would load up the tubs and one of them would come and take the tubs. So somebody was always moving out and back from the van. And again, I had people helping me. I had people dropping books in the tubs like, hey, I found this over there. There were books everywhere in this house. We've only gone through 4 boxes of books and we've done 272 books so far. And 4 boxes, and there are 16 boxes to go through. It's been over a year and we have not gone through all of these books because life. And every year we set a goal for ourselves. We've set a goal for this summer to get rid of all of our death pile, and if we haven't got rid of it, it's going, because we've had it now, some of the items in the death pile, for several years. So it's being sold at our rummage sale. It's going to be sold on eBay. It'll be sold on Facebook Marketplace. It'll be sold just about anywhere. We're getting it out of our house. In fact, we're hoping to have a sale this weekend. But who knows if we will or not. Because every weekend we're like, well, you're going to have a rummage sale. And then we don't have a rummage sale. But right now, if we don't have a rummage sale this weekend, we're not going to have one until summer's over because of how crazy our schedules are. So it's now or never, essentially. I actually sold this lot of books. I sold this lot of books. I don't know if I should say who I sold them to because they're semi-famous. they're a TikToker. And their whole shtick is like vintage stuff. So I guess if you want to find them that way, you can. But they did buy that. They left me a marvelous feedback. So I won't call them out, but that was super cool. And now I watch, like, I guess they gained a follower out of that. I don't watch TikTok because I don't have TikTok, but I do see them on YouTube Shorts and stuff. So I guess they gained a follower because now I'm like, are the books going to show up? And they have once already. So not the books themselves, but recipes from the books and reference to the books. So I think that's like super cool. And I know other people have seen like their stuff in TV shows and movies and stuff. I just sent out a vintage exerciser, like really vintage, bizarre exerciser that it's going to California. And anytime I send anything to California or New York, I always think they're going to end up in a show or a movie or something. But, so maybe that'll show up in something. But those sold right away. I did lot them. These do not sell by themselves. Like, I'm not like, hey, if you see these old Better Homes and Gardens cookbooks, don't buy them. Buy them if there's a lot. But mind you, this lot sold by itself for $15.99. So put that into perspective. That being said, with the 200 and some books so far, we've made our money back. We've made almost triple our money. So if I just, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying burn books, but if I just lit all the books on fire in my backyard right now, I would have made a profit. Now that would hurt my soul, and I cannot do that. But if I donated all the books to our library has like a Friends of the Library sale, and they have a room where they sell books that are donated, and they're constantly asking for donations because they do go through the books. Granted, I'm not like donating bestsellers and stuff, but I had a lot of children's books in this lot that really weren't worth anything. So I donated an entire box of children's books, and before my husband went to drop them off, and before he even got them to the door, he was intercepted by a woman that asked if he had children's books in there. I guess they saw a minivan and a box and be like, man, they must have some children's books in there. Well, we made her day because we had a bunch of children's books in there. You can always go around to like little libraries and stuff and stock those up. Granted, again, cookbooks probably not the thing to stock little libraries up with. I have stocked little libraries up with romance novels. I got a bizarrely large lot of Amish romance novels that weren't worth anything. So I was like going around to little libraries and shoving them full of Amish romance novels. So, I mean, that probably made someone's day, I guess. But our best bet right now to get rid of books, if they are in good condition, is donating to our Friends of the Library. Now, we do have a bookstore in town that does take trade-ins. So I guess if we wanted to try that, we could see if we could trade something in and get money for them, and then we could buy our books with the trade-ins. We have not tried that. Honestly, a lot of the books aren't in good enough shape for us to do that if we aren't selling them on eBay. That being said, if these haven't sold in like a couple years and they've been listed on eBay, might take them in and trade them in. I don't know. We're very much a list it and forget it type of people. However, we've been watching other eBayers lately. We get in like funks where we watch people and we're like, we could totally do what they do, but we don't, but we could. We might do more churning of our store. So right now we list it and forget it, and it just keeps relisting itself. We might start churning the store so we pay more attention to our older listings, even if it's something as simple as end, sell similar. Just doing that. I'm going to have a video coming up of me updating old listings because we are getting screwed in shipping because some of our old listings, the shipping policy did not update properly, as in the weights and stuff just disappeared. And I do everything calculated shipping. I do not pay for shipping. So I am actually losing money, and I'm losing a lot of money in shipping when you're trying to ship something Ground Advantage and it's saying it weighs an ounce. And it's an inch by an inch by an inch, which you can't even mail that. So I don't know why that is an option. So I'm having to go through and change a lot of our old listings with that. We ran a 70% off sale of all of our old listings. It was around 200 some items. And that's when I started noticing it come up over and over and over again, the discrepancy in the shipping policy. And originally I was like, hey, I can sell that for $1. They're paying for shipping. I'm not really out anything. And it's sending traffic to my store. Well, They are paying for shipping, but they're severely underpaying for shipping. So I was out money. There were a couple items in which we actually lost money on. We made zero money. We made negative money. But I'm going to honor those sales. I'm not going to cancel the sales because I screwed up shipping. Now, was it a major, huge screw up? No. It was like $5 here, $5 there. If it was a major, huge mess up, maybe I would cancel the sale, but that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. We've had items where we've listed them and they have sold within minutes of being listed, and you're like, oh, I could have listed that somewhere much higher. Why didn't I do that? I could cancel the sale and relist it. I'm not going to do that. I listed it for what I wanted to get for it. I should be happy for getting that. If it's worth more, kudos to the person for getting a good deal. And, you know, that's on me. That's on me for my lack of knowledge. I didn't know what it was worth. But it's not in my house anymore, and I've made a sale, and I got what I wanted for it because that's what I listed it for. So that's, you know, that's my philosophy there. I guess I could point out what you're seeing here if you pay close attention to my hands. I do have a couple ring splints on my fingers. And you've seen like other things with braces here and there, my ankle braces in Ben's videos, my ring splints on my fingers. I have a thumb splint in a couple of them, some plastic hand splints too. It just keeps my body from dislocating and hating me and everything that I'm about. So they're really cool though. That was a pretty good, decent look of them there. I just have the flesh toned ones. You can get silver ones, black ones. I think I painted a couple with nail polish to make them prettier, but honestly, it just really helps with dislocating things. I didn't realize how bad I was doing it until I went to physical therapy, and then they're like, hey, you're not supposed to bend that way. And I was like, oh, you mean everyone doesn't make an okay sign like this? I'm so sorry. And what we found out is it's becoming very distressing on my joints to consistently dislocate everything in my body. Did you know you can dislocate ribs? I did not know that. I just thought my back hurt, but apparently you can dislocate ribs. So that's why you'll see me all bandage up sometimes and sometimes not because I'm having a good day. Like today, I don't have any braces on because I'm having a good day. However, I just ordered an elbow brace because I dislocated my elbow the other day by stretching. I've dislocated ribs by sneezing and coughing. So when I had pneumonia, that was really rough. Not a lot I can do about it. It's just what it is. Yeah. What does that mean for me? My job, doing eBay, stuff like that. Honestly, my job, I'm not like a laborer or anything, so it's not a huge deal. eBay, I have to do a lot more stuff sitting down, take breaks. Sometimes my hands don't want a hand, so I might not be doing something that day, or I might not be able to work on a computer as much because I can't feel my fingertips, stuff like that. But it's an inconvenience, not necessarily stopping anything, so that's nice. But I'm acutely aware when we do bins and stuff all day that I need to take breaks, and I can't do close photographing for hours at a time anymore because it ends up physically hurting me. eBay's fine. My work's fine. I'm an idiot, and I will do things that push myself way too far, and then I will have flare-ups and just be awful. We went to camp recently, and I had to sleep on a cot for an entire week. And mind you, I volunteered for this because I have sucker written on my forehead. And by the time camp was over, I was trembling because I was having so much of a flare, and I couldn't hold things, and I kept dropping things, which was great because I was the one that drove everyone there, so I got to drive everybody home while having a flare. And I had a flare for probably 3 or 4 days afterwards, so I have to be very mindful of that. But as long as I go easy on myself, it's fine. I thought for a while I was going to talk about it in videos, but I didn't know which ones. But since you could see my ring splints in this one, I decided to go ahead and talk about it there. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and have a productive day.